Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the IMCD project. IMCDB project, that is. Yes, I still have shaving cream and so on my face because I just got finished doing a shaving video. I'm going to do a head shave here today. But anyway, welcome to the IMCDB project. I'm your host, CDB. You are not. And we're going to, today, do a head shave because I haven't done one of those videos for quite some time. So I figured I would do so. I'm going to use the Harry's razor, and I wanted to explain a little bit about that and just maybe talk about some other things while I'm doing it. Put a little bit of this fine cream on the dome as I'm doing so. Haven't done one of these for a while. I just haven't had as much time generally to do videos and have time to put together 2 videos on the days I have. So I've done the regular face shaving videos, but I've neglected the head shaving videos for a long time now, so I want to make sure I did one. So, the folks who are interested in watching the head shaving videos will have a little content as well. And of course, I like to use these head shaving videos just to talk about whatever the heck I want, including head shaving. Today, I just got home a little bit ago, so I decided to make a video this evening, shave my head in the evening and face. Touch up in the morning, probably the face. Anyhow, I was on my way home this evening, or this afternoon, I should say. And I was following a bus. And the friggin' bus, I don't know about you guys or how old a lot of viewers are. I'm assuming most are probably in their late 20s up to in their 50s. Probably the audience. Just a guess. I don't have the demographics, but a lot of you, let's say if you're in your late 30s to 40s, probably remember back in the day when if you rode the bus to school, let's say in grade school, junior high, whatever, they sort of had regional bus stops. By that I mean the bus stop wasn't right at your house or one house down. It might have been several blocks away, maybe a mile away, maybe a half mile. And mine was, when I was in grade school, the bus stop was not on my street or within actually 2 or 3 streets of my home. It was probably, I'm just guessing, half mile away. I mean, not a super long distance, but a distance. And so you had to walk there to catch the bus. And other kids from the area also walked to these regional bus stops. And there would be like 10 or 15 kids at the bus stop, coming from all over. Now, the friggin' bus, it's stopping like from house to house. Like literally, this is no joke. I watched the bus stop and let a kid off. And it goes 50 feet maybe. I mean, you could easily throw a rock to the next place it stopped without even winging it. And I'm thinking, well, everybody on the road has to stop both ways because, the bus stop sign and all the kids on the bus for every stop, it takes them that much longer to get home. So for each individual kid that has to be catered to because they can't walk 50 feet and get off at the first bus stop there, let alone a mile or half a mile or a quarter mile, everybody has to be delayed. And then we wonder why children are self-centered and so on and so forth in some cases. And I'm like, well, maybe it's because we're training them to be that way. I mean, everybody on the road has to stop. All the kids on the bus have to wait it probably takes forever for kids to get home now from the bus. If you're on a later stop, you've got a bad hand dealt because you got to wait for this bus to stop at every friggin' house or within a very close proximity to the house, not in these sort of regional spots like it used to be. Like say a regular bus in your hometown, if you have a bus, there's bus stops, but they're not all like right on top of each other. They might have to be a few blocks down or whatever. And it's freaking insane. It's like, I can't believe that the kid can't walk 50 feet to the next house. I mean, just get off on the stop with the last kid and walk a rock's throw, less than a rock's throw, to the house. And we're not talking about preschoolers. We're talking about, looks like middle school age and up, like kids that are able to walk. It's like, wow, it blows my mind the level at which we're coddling people now. It's unreal. And then we wonder why things are the way they are. Like, why people don't want to work for things and why people want things handed to them. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm not one of these people like, when I grew up, we had to walk uphill both ways in the snow. But we did have to walk in the snow. It's just a fact. It's the way it was, And you had to walk a fair distance. But now it's like, I don't know what the reason, but like they just stop it. Anyway, it's a concern to me because, I don't know, it just seems like things are, we make it so easy sometimes that there's, I don't know that it's a positive thing. No, I do understand safety concerns, And my child is grown, so it's not obviously not an issue for me. And I obviously want the kids to be safe and so on and so forth. But my goodness, in this situation, it's like, there's just no reason for it. And it's like everybody else had to be troubled because a kid can't walk 50 feet. Man, I don't know. I really don't. It's disheartening. It's like, sometimes I just don't know. But anyway, let's talk about the head shave. Specifically, Harry's, which is one of my favorite razors. And if I'm using this every single day, day after day, like I'm shaving my head day in, day out, every single day, it's my favorite. Let me tell you when it's not my favorite. Something that I found out recently. Recently, there was a day where I went a couple of days between head shaves. And you start to grow back hair where it grows. This thing, the problem is, once you get a couple of days of growth, it clogs. And what happens is, once it clogs, it's very difficult to get the hair out of these blades. And it just makes it difficult. On a 1 day's growth, it's no problem whatsoever. You can just rinse it. It rinses right out, no problem. On 2, 3, 4 days growth, it's clogging. And you're gonna have to keep banging it. Now, most carts are that way. The Defender and some other razors, less so, or perhaps a razor that doesn't have the blades so close together. But that would be the time when it's really not my favorite option. So I would look to something else, and you would probably be better maybe to use a DE or something, because it wouldn't clog as much when you have a number of days of growth. So that's just my experience. And because I had been shaving my head every single day for the better part of 2 years and never really taking, never really allowing any growth more than 1 day, it was never an issue. But I'll tell you, if you put together, 2 to 4 days or anything over 2 days, you might be into clogging territory. So just keep that in mind, because I've talked about how affordable, the blades are for this relative to, say, Gillette. And I've talked about how much I like it. But I also want you to know that, it can clog pretty easily, and then you have to deal with the hassle of, click, 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 unclogging. And my old one, as you know, the thing would fly off when you tapped it. Now, they did send me a replacement that doesn't do that, but they will wear out eventually, because it's just a sort of a plastic, this collar pushes up. So, there's not a tremendous amount of force to keep that on. So eventually, I look for this one to do the same thing my old one did. Just be cognizant of that if you are a head shaver. That if you're a daily head shaver, I think it's really a fine option. At least it is for me. Works phenomenally, Harry's. If you're every few days, you might want to consider something that's not as prone to clogging, so on and so forth. That's my official guidance. I wanted to come back and speak to that because, I never really went very long without shaving the dome. And so it's important information to consider. And I hope it's helpful information. I'm sure a lot of you have had similar experiences. And I'm sure some of you don't use carts for that reason, because they clog. Now, the Defender's not as prone to that, because the blades are further apart and so on. So keep that in mind. Right now I'm trying to touch up the back here and just get a few spots. Hair grows in all kind of weird angles. Like on that side, kind of grows that way. And just trying to get a sort of level cue ball shave here today. And by the way, I hope all you head shaving gents have been doing well. I've been doing well. Had a nice Thanksgiving. Went to see my folks and down in Charlotte, North Carolina, and my sister, nephew, and my wife's folks and family. It was a really good time. Had some, good Thanksgiving meals and so on. Really, really nice. But now we're back to the grindstone and at work and just, trying to get ready for Christmas and so on. So hope everybody enjoyed the holiday, and hopefully you will enjoy your holidays to come. And certainly for those of you in the U.S. who are not in the U.S., I'm talking about Thanksgiving. I know Canada celebrates Thanksgiving at a different time, although I'm not sure if, the folks who watch in Europe and so on have, similar holidays. But if you do, certainly wishing you well on those holidays and just every day. So I hope you're all doing well and hope you continue to do well. That has been it for the head shave. Really nice. Again, Harry's working really swell on a daily basis, but skip a few days, you might be into clogging. And that's the message I really wanted to get through. In addition to my sort of moaning about the school bus stopping crazy close. I'm sure people will manufacture reasons why that's swell, but I'm not buying it. Not going to do it. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Until next time, I've been your host, CDV. You are not. God bless.